Are you getting weaker as you age, and is that normal? People don't automatically get weaker as they get older. It's more to do with the fact that as you get older, you are generally become more inactive. So more inactive you are, the more sedentary you are, the less you're exercising and moving, so you will get weaker. You will start to have atrophy, you start to lose muscle mass, and sarcopenia is a big sign of early mortality. If you don't use it, you lose it. And that's a really good saying because it's actually true. If you stop walking upstairs, you'll lose the ability to walk upstairs easily. If not, if you're older, you won't be able to walk upstairs at all. If you stop carrying your shopping, you're going to find it harder to go back and pick up your shopping and bring it into your house. So 97% of residents who use care homes will be sedentary. They're going to be sat down a lot, long periods of time, or in their bed, and they're not going to be getting up and being active enough. And that will increase the rate that you deteriorate. Sometimes it feels when you're living in your own home, you're doing absolutely fine, and then you go to a care home and your life just rapidly declines. And it is because of the culture that is in care homes. It's a culture where not enough well-trained staff who can help actively encourage service users and residents to be more active, to get up more. There's always seems to be a bit more of fear of falls and injuries and more caution on safety rather than looking at what's best in the best interest of the resident, which is to try and encourage them to be more active, make their own cups of tea, walk themselves to meals, get them outside more, get them walking more, setting up activities for them to do. Some care homes have gyms, but there doesn't seem to be enough emphasis on encouragement to get people to use the gyms. There's not enough staff to help them learn how to use the machines or to help track their progress. I've heard stories of care home staff actively discouraging exercise, discouraging service users from getting up out of their chairs, out of the rooms and walking around. And some of the reasons why they are telling them to stay in their rooms and stay in their chairs and stay in their beds is because they see it as a risk that older people are walking around, that they're calling them frail and weak and saying that you need to stop yourself from if you go walking around, you're going to hurt, you're going to fall over and you're going to injure yourself. And they make them feel guilty. They tell them, we don't have the staff to look after you. If you fall over and get hurt, you're going to be a burden on us. But all that's doing is by discouraging older people from getting up out of their rooms and walking around and actively exercising, is that they will lose muscle mass. They are losing the ability to get up out of their chairs. And you see people struggling to get out of their chairs, and it's because you're not training. You're not training by standing up and sitting down. They should not be discouraging exercise. They should be encouraging it. Yes, there is a risk, like with all life. There's a risk when you go in the car or go over for a drive. There's a risk when you get on your bike and go for a cycle. There's a risk when you walk down the road or hike. But if you don't do any of these things, the risks are so much greater for doing nothing. You'll start to atrophy, sarcopenia kicks in, you lose muscle mass, you lose the ability to walk, you lose bone density. Increases the likelihood of deterioration through arthritis or osteoporosis. You'll hasten your deterioration by doing nothing. There are some care homes where they get someone in and they do some chair exercises, which is brilliant. Get them up and down, moving their legs, moving their arms, walking around. That is brilliant. That's what they should be doing. Yes, the risk of falls and the risk from fractures from falls, which can lead to sepsis. But then your risk from fractures, from falls, is greater if you don't exercise. So if you're strength training, if you're squatting, if you're deadlifting, especially with weights on machines or barbells, your bone density will improve, your muscle mass will improve, and then when you fall, or if you fall, the risk of you getting a fracture is much, much lower. It's a preventative measure, and obviously preventative measures, they don't get much in the ways of help or support, especially through the NHS, because it's not cost effective. It's the first thing they cut. Whenever there's a budget cut anywhere, preventative measures go down the pan. They get rid of them to save money. because they'd rather put money into treating people who are hurt in the first place. But to stop people getting hurt in the first place, you need preventative measures. It's catch-22. So you have to take it aboard yourself. You have to try and find some way of exercising, and you can do it for free. There's lots of parks, there's lots of gyms and parks, or if you're at home, you can practice doing some reps, standing and sitting up in your dining chair if you lack mobility enough to go to a gym or to be able to get down to the floor or do free weight squats. You can sit down and up from a chair for like 3 lots of 10 reps or even 20 reps. You will build strength. When they go into home, you can try and encourage them to do more. Show them the gym. If you can, try and get permission to go in and help them use the gym, show them around, or try and encourage that they join in a fitness program, or fitness program is set up where they try and actively get you in twice a week for group sessions. And it can be done if you can train several members of staff, or even just a higher up member of staff where you've got someone on site who is trained to actually show them how to use the equipment. It's only a level 2. It's a gym induction level 2, and you can show people how to use the equipment and just monitor them. You don't need to be a personal trainer to monitor people using gym equipment in a gym. You just need a level 2 as a basic. That's the same in every mainstream gym. If you have got friends or family in care homes and you're worried about their physical health, try and get involved. Ask them about how their physical activity's been. Ask them about the gym. Ask them to show you around the gym, or show you how to use equipment, or what they do in the equipment. Join them for their gym session. When you go see them next time, make sure it's for their gym session. Even if it means that you can help them get ready and help them get over to there and help them show some interest in them on the machines. And you can have a catch up and a chat. Some of the best chats I've had in the gym as a personal trainer have just been catching up with members during their workouts, because it's a good time to talk, and then you can actively encourage that. If you care about yourself and trying to prolong the need to go into a care home, start lifting weights. You can get help by going to your local gym, booking in a gym induction, booking a PT taster session with a personal trainer. You'll just reap the benefits. Obviously, sometimes you're dealt a really shit hand, and whether it's disease, injury, whatever, and there's not much you can do about it, and you will need care. But you can stack the odds in your favor. If you can do something that gives you a greater chance of being successful and having a longer, more fulfilling life with better quality of life, you should do it. Being stronger before that happens can make the process a lot easier. You might recover quicker. You can slow down the rapid decline of your health by working with strength through a disease, whether it's Parkinson's, MS, Huntington's, cancer, obesity, diabetes, or muscular injury, or broken back, or broken arm. Like, if you're stronger to begin with, you stand a better chance of recovery, you stand a better chance of slowing down how quickly you deteriorate. Because when you've got a disease or you're injured, you're normally very sedentary because you need bed rest, you need to recover. And with bed rest starts atrophy, sarcopenia, you lose muscle mass, you get weaker because of that, and you find it harder to rehabilitate yourself, and your decline just goes down and down and down and down. But if you are stronger to begin with, that strength, it gives you a higher bar to start at as you decline. If you're not lifting weights and you're declining here, you start there, that's your baseline. But if your baseline is much higher, your decline, you may decline and still be stronger than you were when you weren't lifting weights. And as soon as you start recovering and you start again trying to build up to overcompensate, you're starting at a higher level. You're probably at a good rate. You'll recover quicker as well, because your muscle memory is a real thing. Your body knows how it built that muscle to begin with, and it knows what to do and how to build it. You will get back to strength a lot quicker. So as an inactive person who's trying to build strength back up is very slow, but someone who's built higher strength and has come down but still at a higher baseline, they will build back up a lot quicker. You'll have more independence, even if it's for extra months, years. It'll be worth it to have that independence. Not just for you, but for your loved ones and your friends around you. You won't need the support. You're investing. With weight training, you're investing in your future, your life quality in your future. You don't want to be looking back on it in 20, 30 years' time and think, I should have done more. I'm stuck in my bed, I'm stuck in my chair, I should have done more. Getting the accessories that help you get out of chairs and get you out of bed and stuff, you don't want to be at a stage where you need that. That just aids in your decline. Going from a house with stairs to a bungalow, your risk of falling is greatly diminished, but then you lose the strength training that you were doing going upstairs. If it was purely for safety and you were higher risk of trips and falls and stairs is a no-go, you need to start training your legs. Go to a gym. Go on an incline on a treadmill. Have the safety attachment attached to you. Start doing steps onto a stepper in the gym. Start doing steps on a stair climber. Whatever you take away, you've got to replace it. So if you're trying to make your life safer, you've got to replace it with stuff you do in the gym. The harsh reality of life is that if you do nothing, you do get weaker. If you do something, you get stronger. It's about the effort you put in. You get what you put in. You don't get anything for free in life. You've got to put in the hard work and you'll reap the benefits. You can be the strongest person at any age. You just need to train, strength train at least twice a week, eat well, sleep well, and try and manage your stress as best as you can. A lot of people feel that if you're doing something and it feels hard, feels sore, then you shouldn't be doing it. But that is wrong. Humans adapt well to manageable stress. You need manageable stress in your life to get stronger, to survive. If you had no stress at all, you wouldn't survive. You need some form of weight-bearing activity to help you get stronger. You need to have some cognitive stress, manageable cognitive stress, to keep your mind active, where it's puzzles, talking, engagement, conversation, something challenging, whether you're taking on a course or learning something new. You need to stimulate your brain, you need to stimulate your muscles to get stronger and to get healthier and stay fitter for longer. If anyone tells you that you're weak or frail or fragile, they are wrong, really wrong. You are strong, you're not weak. You are capable of doing anything. You just need to put in the time and the effort to get it. You only get weaker by doing nothing. Yes, if you do too much too soon, you can cause yourself an injury. You should listen to your body and know when you need to stop. If you're getting pain, you need to stop. Soreness is different. If you get sore, little burning sensation in your muscles, or you feel a bit sore the next day after a workout, that's fine. That is just delayed onset muscle soreness. That recovers, you get stronger. That's fine. You can work out and get stronger without getting the soreness. You just dial back the intensity. You dial back the load. Just make the bar lighter. Make the weights lighter on your weight stack. You need to be able to tolerate what you're doing to get stronger. You need to be able to push yourself hard enough so that you can get the adaptations, so that it can trigger the growth mechanism to build muscle and get stronger, but also you need to be able to recover, allow yourself to compensate and then overcompensate to get stronger and build muscle. And if this is something that resonates with you or someone that you know, whether it be a parent, grandparent, share this to them, let them know, and get them to get in touch or get in touch yourself, because the sooner that you can break these myths, the sooner that you can realize that you're not weak and not fragile, that you are strong and that you are capable and that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to, we'll get you started. I do offer 42 emails over 42 days if you sign up to my emails through my website at lewisgunn.com, and that can help give you the motivation and encouragement to start. It can dispel any myths that you've heard of and fill you more with confidence to get going.